Bonjour tout le monde. Hope everybody is doing well. My daughter woke me up, so this video is going to be coming to everybody, or is going to be available very early. Weather forecast today, rain, but it looks like it's going to be a super nice weekend, so be outside, but be away from people and be safe. Okay, so a little slight change of plan here. I was going to show you how to rotate things in multiple quadrants, but I thought, you know what, we looked at a 90-degree counterclockwise and clockwise rotation. Let's just look at a 180-degree rotation, because there's a little bit difference how to do that, so we can understand how to do those when the shape is fully in the quadrant, and then we'll leave it there. Okay, that's something that maybe you could look at next year, or if we get back in the class this year, we can take a look at it. It's a little bit more involved, and we've got some other material to cover. So anyways, let's look at a 180-degree rotation. One of the big things is I've taken to putting in the quadrants and the signs for the ordered pair in each quadrant. Okay, so I've got quadrant 1, that's a positive quadrant. Quadrant 2, again, that's a negative x and a positive y. Quadrant 3, that's a negative quadrant, and if we roll over here, we've got quadrant 4 is a positive x quadrant and a negative y quadrant. Okay, so let's put in a shape here, okay? Really any shape. Let's put it in, I don't know, let's put it in quadrant 2, okay? Right there, right there, right there. Okay, so we're not really working with a right angle triangle. These techniques, these processes, they work with right angle, scaling, whatever kind of triangle you're working with, whatever kind of shape you're working with. So just keep that in mind, okay? All right, so follow along. So put that in there. So let's put the quadrants in here, okay? So let's just say, let's say our A quadrant. Let's just go A, B, C. And I was asked, actually, is a good question. Yeah, Mr. Roberts, what's the pre-image? Like, what is that? Okay, so the pre-image is your original shape, okay? The pre-image is the original shape that you're going to be manipulating. There's a word that we're going to be doing things with, okay? Either reflecting, rotating, translating, whatever it is, okay? So this is the one. This shape is the original plotted coordinates that I give you, that you see in a test paper, an assignment. This is the original one right here, okay? So let's just keep that in mind. You also know that's a pre-image when you don't have one or two slashes beside each vertice point, okay? To show you that this is the original image, okay? So if we're gonna put in the coordinates here for A, so what are we at? We're at -8, -4. Okay, so put that in. Let's go to B. We're at -7, -7. And if we go to C, our x coordinate is -5, our y coordinate is 3. Okay, so when we were rotating 90 degrees, if we were going clockwise, we're rotating into the next quadrant here, okay? And remember, we flip the coordinates, and then we put in the matching signs for that particular quadrant. If we want to think of this Cartesian grid, if we were to kind of put a circle around it, okay, and we were to cut that circle in half, think of like our supplementary angle theory, right? Where we had two angles right here. So we've got this half moon. So we know that when we want to rotate 180 degrees, it's going to rotate into the opposite quadrant right here, okay? The one that is kind of facing or looking at, all right? Not the one beside it, not the adjacent quadrant, but the opposite quadrant, okay? Now let's say the shape was here. That's where our 180 degrees, there's our half moon, rotates into this quadrant, all right? If it were here, it's going to rotate into this one. And if it were here, there's our half moon, okay? Half of our circle rotates in here, okay? So what we want to do is, when we're rotating 180 degrees, we're not going to flip the coordinates. we're actually going to keep the coordinates the same, okay? So let's just go ahead and do this. Let's just go ahead and put the A coordinates, B coordinates, C coordinates, just list them down here, or let's list them on the side here without signs, okay? So what do we have here? Let's make sure this is on screen here. A, B, C. Can we all see that? Make sure A prime, B prime, C prime, and for the people, so when you see A prime, B prime, B prime, that's an image, okay? That's not the original. That's the one that we've done something to, okay? So we're gonna go, A is gonna be 8, 4. B is gonna be 7, 7. C is gonna be 5, 3. If we go back to our 90-degree rotations, remember we would flip those. So if we were dealing with, instead of 180 and 90 degree, it would be 4 and 8, it would be 7 and 7, same numbers, there would be 3 and 5. We're not, okay? We're dealing with 180-degree rotation. So we're just gonna keep the ordered pair the same, okay? What was in the original is gonna be in that, that image, okay? But now what we wanna do is we wanna put in the signs in the quadrant that we're moving it into, that we're rotating into, and we're just gonna fill in those signs for that particular one. So we're in a quadrant now where we've got positive x coordinate and negative y. So let's go ahead and do that, okay? So positive x is gonna be your 8, it's gonna be your 7, it's gonna be your 5. But your negative y is gonna be your negative 4, your negative 7, your negative 3. Let's go ahead and plot that, okay? So if we look here, so our A prime, so we're going to go to 8, and then we're going to go down to negative 4. For B, we're going to go 7 and negative 7. So we're 7 here. And then for C, we've got 5 and negative 3. So 5, remember, we go out, and then we go out and up or out and down, but always go out first. Always travel on that x coordinate first. I don't know, I think our brains work horizontally on this grid, at least mine does. So we're going to go out to 5, and we're down to negative 3. Okay. I'm looking at that. It looks good. So what we want to do is we want to connect the vertices. A, B, and C. Okay? So essentially what we've done is we've taken this, I don't want to use a pen, and we've rotated that. And what I like to do is when we have our image, okay, I'm just showing it with a color to show that that is the manipulated image, okay? So let's just recap here. I actually think what might be handy is, so we've got one more lesson. For this particular work today, I'm just going to ask you to you know, hopefully you've been copying down the notes. It would be really good if you're doing the grids and actually doing this. It's not a lot of work. These lessons are not very long, but you get the examples, okay? What I think is going to make a lot of sense is, so we're done with rotations. Again, like I said, I'm going to leave the one that's in the double quadrant. We have one more, that's dilations. That's when we're taking a shape. Like, let's say we were going to take this shape right here and we were going to make it bigger, or we're going to make it smaller. I'm going to show you how to do that. There's some fractions involved, but it's actually going to segue nicely into just doing a little bit of fraction work, what we're going to start next week. So what I think will make sense is after the dilation lesson, I'm going to do like a quick little review and have a paper up here on the process on how to how to do all this stuff, okay? And have it in just in one clean spot, because there's lots of different videos. How to translate with the translation vector. Remember the reflection line. How to rotate and the different little tricks, the different little methods that we've learned about flipping quadrants, or making sure that we keep the quadrants, or sorry, keep the ordered pair the same, and just putting in the signs. Okay, I think that will be helpful. I've not yet decided what we're going to do for a big kind of summative assignment here. Okay, you guys are still working on your picture transformation assignment, which is great, but I will come up with something. Okay, so really quickly in 25 seconds or less, just to review here. Okay, so we have our pre-image. This is our original image. What we want to do when we are in a 180-degree rotation is that we take the ordered pair, and it's the same thing except A prime, B prime, C prime. Ordered pair is going to be the same numbers. What we're going to do is we're going to put in the signs of the quadrant that it's rotating into. Okay, so in this quadrant we started in 2, we rotate to 4. So we have A prime, B prime, C prime, 8, but -4 because we've got that negative on the y. 7, -7 because we've got that negative on that y-axis here. And then we've got 5 on that -3 on that y-axis, that y-coordinate, okay? So again, I always like to use that expression, just plug and play. You plug it in and you do it here, okay? So for a little bit of practice, yeah, I'm not going to check this, but just, for your own, if I know we've had more math work this week, put in any kind of shape in one of the quadrants and try rotating it around. The best way to know is, have you rotated it properly? Look to that point, or that vertice that's closest to about the origin, and then you'll see, does it make sense? -5 and 3, -3 and 5. Is it the opposite? Does it actually look like it's an equal distance out from the origin here? Then you'll know. If you haven't, send me a message, send me an email, and we can fix that, okay? Have a great day. It's going to be rainy, and I'll speak to you soon, okay? Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.